Good evening. Welcome to this Hump Day edition of the Angela Ray Show. I hope that you all have had a fantabulous day and you are ready to make it do what it do for this Wednesday evening. For all of you who will be catching this broadcast on the replay, thank you so much for hanging out with us and all of the support for my viewers who will be catching the broadcast live. You know what to do. Go ahead and slide in those comments. Let me know that you are here. And tonight, I have a different request. I always ask you to do something when you slide in those comments. Tonight, when you slide in those comments, I want you to tell me one thing, just one or two, one thing that you learned how to cook during the pandemic. One thing that you learned how to cook. Hey, Cassandra Jolliffe, we need to talk because we got some business to take care of for your big shindig that's coming up. But yes, let me know one thing that you learned how to cook during the pandemic. For me, one of the things, and I had it tonight, black bean burgers. That was one of the things that I learned how to do during the pandemic. I never even had a desire to learn how, but hey, when you're trying to do something new, trying to do something kind of healthy, necessity is that mother of invention. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kick the party off as we always do with our Ray of Motivation moment. And for tonight's Ray of Motivation moment, I want to ask you the question, who's in your five? Who's in your five? So I don't know how many of you all remember this T-Mobile commercial. It was maybe 10, 12 years ago. It was a series of commercials with Charles Barkley and Dwayne Wade and a couple other basketball players. But the two main stars were Charles Barkley and Dwayne Wade. And Charles being the elder statesman in terms of basketball, he had Dwayne Wade kind of wanting to be in his five. This is how long ago this was. This was when, everybody didn't, you couldn't have unlimited calls with everyone. But if you had these five people that you named, then you had unlimited calls with them. And it was a small circle. It was five. And when I thought about that commercial recently, it reminded me how important it is to choose your circle wisely. Choose your circle wisely. So many of us are still processing the tragic and untimely loss of Chadwick Boseman. And one of the things that I've heard people say over and over was the people that were in his circle gone dark just for a little minute. I don't know what just happened there. That was interesting. Went dark for a minute, but again, I just want to ask you that question: who's in your five? And that is tonight's Ray of Motivation moment. Oh, okay, all right. I'm looking forward to that, Cassandra. Definitely. All right. So my guest tonight, she was one of the original hosts of the groundbreaking TV One talk show, Sister Circle. But these days, the Kiana Dancie is a powerhouse comedienne, speaker, media personality, and entrepreneur. She's been featured on the hit TV One show, Who's Got Jokes with Bill Bellamy, where she destroyed the stage, as well as Bounce TV's second season of Off the Chain, where host Rodney Perry introduced her as a beast. So I'm sure he meant that as a compliment anyway. Please help me welcome my guest for tonight, Kiana Dancie. Kiana, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, lady, thank you for having me. Listen, that was my bio, wasn't it?
It was. Girl, you sound
good. My bio. But you forgot some things, sis. It's been updated since. You forgot to tell the people I'm in a Netflix movie. I'm on a movie on BET called One Crazy Christmas. Yes.
And the Sextuplets movie with Marlon Wayans on Netflix. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get myself
your sheriff outfit. I saw you doing your thing.
I'm trying to get myself centered here, child. I can't. Listen, I was all set up, then I moved wrong.
Uh-oh. I was like, yeah, we were good, but when we did our little check before we started.
That part. So was the internet good? I don't know what happened.
I don't know. It must have been on my end because you weren't even on yet, but it just completely went down. So I have no idea what that was about. But we are
matter. We're here now.
Yeah, and you've been busy, during the pandemic. You are back hosting at the Atlanta Comedy Club on occasion. You have your own show, which is currently on a brief hiatus. And of course, you're an entrepreneur. You own a cell phone repair company in the Atlanta area as well. You just doing it. When you had downtime during the pandemic, what did you do?
Funny you say that. It's funny you said that because I've always been very, very busy, and it wasn't just the pandemic that increased that for me. My schedule has always been loaded with so much going on, and I always tell people, don't let something tragic make you realize that you need to get your life together. You know what I mean? So, like for example, you mentioned Atlanta Comedy Theater. Like, to be honest with you, I have not been back since March. The last show that I did was with Martin Lawrence. I was in Savannah, Georgia. I was on the road with Martin Lawrence, that is one of my bucket lists. So I was super excited to be on the road with him. And here we go. Bam, pandemic, and Miss Rona had to make an appearance, honey. So, that taught me a couple things, right? One, have multiple streams of income. So that is where, CPR cell phone repair store came from. When I was on Sister Circle Live, I had no idea that the show was going to come to an end for me. The conversation was never had. I had no warning. I will be very honest with you. There was maybe a chat or two about adding a host, but never removing a host. So when there was some chatter. So I asked, I said, hey, I heard there was going to be some changes in the host. Should I be concerned? What's going on? Can you explain or talk to me about it? Can you spill a little tea? And I was never told. So for me during that time, the lessons I learned more importantly was always be ready so that you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, don't get too comfortable. You know what I mean? So I had already planted my seed. I planted my seed so that I can eat the harvest. Meaning, when I took my Sister Circle money and I went and bought a franchise, and it was not easy. Being a franchise owner, they go through all your life, honey. They check your credit. They want to talk to your mama. They want to talk to your dad. My daddy dead, child. You can't talk to my daddy. He is dead. So, for me, I learned a lot of lessons. That is having multiple streams of income. They tell me millionaires have 7. Well, baby, I'm on my way to have some 10. I want 10 streams of income. You hear me? So, the name of my business is CPR Cell Phone Repair, and it's in Duluth, Georgia.
Awesome. Now, so you basically what you're saying is, even though most people had slowed down March, April, May, you didn't slow down. So you said you have 10 streams of income. Now, we don't need to know all your business, but what are just a few of the things that have been keeping you busy?
So I am a franchise owner. As you know, I own CPR Cell Phone Repair at 2200 Duluth Highway, Suite 102, Duluth, Georgia, 30097. Come see me.
Come through with the commercial. Okay.
We repair all things mobile. Now, girl, let me tell you something, how you got in that business. In 2018, I broke my Samsung phone 3 times at $350 a pop.
Ooh. Oh.
And I had insurance, ma'am. So I said to myself, if I'm willing to spend $350 on my phone, I'm sure someone else is willing to spend that kind of money on their phone. So I started researching what kind of business could I get in. First of all, I don't like to cook. Second of all, I can't sew. Third of all, I ain't cutting nobody's grass. I'm already trading stock. I'm already buying. So I needed to figure out something. What can I do? We looked at staffing agencies, my family and I. We did all these different things. It boiled down to repairing our phone because Kiana Dancie, break her phone multiple times over and over and over again. So we went through the program. We landed on that. So I am a franchise owner, as I stated. I am an author. When I tell you, writing this book has been like having a child, and I am nobody's mama. You hear me?
I believe it.
Girl. So I'm an author. I have 2 more chapters. I had the incorporated chapter about Circle. I also had to incorporate a chapter about COVID, how this pandemic has really interrupted all of our lives. And I want people to remember this. Interruption is not necessarily a bad thing. Interruption can sometimes stop and make you think what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, how you need to readjust, how you need to pivot, what you need to do. So, okay, so that's not working. Let me adjust. You know what? You're in my life and I don't need you to be in my life. I'm so glad this interruption is here, because you got to go. So as an author, I've been able to really concentrate on that. Baby, stand-up comedy has been good to me. I'm a media personality. You know my show. I do a show of like you said, hiatus. I do a daily show called On Live with Kiana Dancie. You can catch us on all things social. And I've interviewed. It started with me just talking with my friends. Literally, you know how this goes. And I just was talking to my friends, and I realized I got a lot of friends. I talked to, my girlfriend Eve, to Lisa Ray, to David Banner, to April Ryan, to A.R. Bernard. Had all these amazing people just. Hey, what you doing tomorrow? Jump on the live with me. And here we are. So that's 4 right there, girl.
Yeah, you are definitely full. Yeah, I'm tired. I need to drink a little water just thinking about all the stuff that you're doing right about now.
And if you only got, listen, if you got three, you better get four. If you got five, you better get two more. And if you got seven, you better be looking for three more. 10 is the win.
10 is the win. Okay,
10
that's
is
gonna
the
be,
win.
we might tweet that out or put that on Instagram tomorrow. We're gonna give
Come
you
on,
credit
sis.
for it. We'll give you credit for it, but yeah, we might have to
Okay.
tweet that out.
Thank you.
So you've gone from on stage to the movies. You know, you have two movies currently out. Were you working on any projects pre-pandemic? Because you know, when it shut down, everything shut down.
Girl, you're always working on something. Now, what has it done since? I'm writing a script. Actually, it's a phenomenal script. I cannot wait for it to be done. I will tell you this: every woman, every man will see something in this script, in this movie, that they will be able to relate to. We all have had our heart broken. We all have been through some
Mm.
things, honey. We all have been to the place where we want to. You know what? I want to burn your. I want to burn it down. But I'm not saying I did that. I'm just saying I had it in my spirits
Right.
to burn something down before. So this script I'm working on, it's going to be one of those that we all can relate to, and I cannot wait to see it on screen, because it's going to be on screen, because I'm that determined.
Okay. All right. You got a question from one of our loyal viewers here at the Angela Ray Show. Edwin has a question for you. Can you see it on the screen?
It says, with all the energy in natural comedy, are you ever not on? How do you stop? Okay, so I'm always, so this is the thing, I'm either on or off. I don't have any middles. Right now I'm on. When I have my lashes on, it's showtime. When these lashes come up, you don't know who I am. My mother always said, it's like, you're so strange, because ironically enough, I'm very quiet, and a lot of people don't realize that about me. As a stand-up, we do go through highs and lows. You know what I'm saying? People assume that you're always on, or you'll be somebody say, tell me a joke. And I'm like, I'm not working right now. Leave me alone. So to answer your question, I'm not always on. I relax a lot. I enjoy taking a bath. I enjoy a glass of champagne or red wine. And that's rare for me, because I don't really drink a lot of red, because I don't like it to stain my teeth. But ain't I'm a petty girl. And I love to. I'm like a lizard. I like to lay out in the sun, honey. I like the way it feels. Get my vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, I enjoy trying to figure out how to take over the world. I know many of your listeners or your viewers may be old enough to at least remember Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, on Fox. Yeah.
Girl,
Yes.
I'm always trying to figure out, Pinky, what we doing? Brain, what we doing? I can be both on many days.
Okay. So you have the script that, of course, is going to be in development. You're an author. You have your own show. Is there any talk of any collaborative shows for you right now?
I'm always open to collaborating with people who are, first of all, God fearing, and if it's in my spirit, I absolutely would collaborate. I was talking to a young lady a couple weeks ago, and she told me, she actually said, the word that you need to utilize and the energy that you need to pull on is collaboration. So
Mm.
I'm fully aware that no one gets anywhere by themselves, ever. No matter how, I don't care if it was Bill Gates or a Beyonce, no one has gotten anywhere alone. You know what I'm saying? So we all need to collaborate and lean on each other to get to the next level. So there are some people that I would love to work with, and hopefully, that is reciprocated. Maybe they want to work with me too. So the goal is just to figure out what that looked like, because for most people this year, everyone was like 2020, it's the year of perfect vision, it's the year of perfect vision, and for me it still is. Although there was some interruptions, as I stated, but it's not over. And I
Right.
feel like, even though it may not have played out the way that you wanted it to, at the end of the
Hmm.
day, if you're still living and you got breath in your chest, baby, God gave you another opportunity to get it done. So there will be some collaborations.
Okay, then. I like how you started that off. You said as long as someone is God fearing, and I know that when we met, there was just a synergy of everyone that was at our table. Like it was just this spiritual thing going on. How do you read that energy when you meet someone? Because you don't even have to ask. I feel like energy introduces.
Yes. Let me tell you something about God's children. Yesterday, was it today or was it yesterday? I can't remember. I pray every day with my church, Life Changes ATL, at noon every day. And then we have Bible study because, listen, I'm a fusser and a cusser, but I know the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? So my pastor, Pastor Tracy, said everybody can claim to be God's children. God's children know each other. We see each other in the eye and we say, "What's up, sis? What's up, bruh?" You see it. It's a light. It's a light that shines upon you. If you're not a part, if you're not my sister or my brother in Christ, trust me, it's I can see it. I can smell it. It's almost tangible. You know what I mean? So that energy, that light shines upon you. And if it's not true and it's not authentic, you cannot fake that. Period. Because as soon as I start talking about the grace of God and His mercy, baby, you're gonna either sit up straight or you're gonna go in the corner because you know that ain't your life. That's not your
Right.
life.
Definitely. Now, I'm just curious. Have you been watching the versus battles? And if you have, did you see the one with Brandy and Monica?
Okay, so let's be clear. Let's just keep it real 100. I did watch it, and I am not one that's I'm rarely in the loop of what's going on. You know who keeps me in the loop of what's going on in the world?
Who?
Girl, my 60-year-old mama.
Okay.
If anybody know me, y'all know me and my mother are very close. And my mom is one that always, she knows all the tea. She know everything that's going on. She know all the juice. She know who's doing what, who's doing this, and she know all the politics, all the gossip. She'll send me she'll send me the update. So I called it because Mama sent it to me. All
Okay.
right. What you want me to say?
See, now I wasn't gonna. This is one of the things that bothered me about that night, particularly taking it in with people on social media. To say, "Oh, I like, oh, Brandy's winning because, oh, that song she just sang is good. Monica's winning because, oh, did you hear those vocals?" That's one thing. But I really felt a lot of people on social media were like really trying to drag them down, and I didn't feel like that was their energy. So I was just curious what you thought overall. For me, it was just a great night of just going down memory lane. Like for number one, I forgot a lot of the songs that they did. I couldn't believe that they were as young as they were when they did some of those songs. And Monica was like, when I recorded, I was like, 12? You had grown woman vocals at 12? So it was a great night of music for me.
Yes, and I agree. And so for me, when you said grown woman vocals at 12, for me, it was grown woman lyrics at 12. What you know about all this, sis? What you singing? But again, we knew and we know even now what sold. So sex sold, and although what she was singing about, either one of them knew what they were singing about, honey. We was in there singing with them, and the mama and daddy accepted the checks and all that, right? I did hear a lot of people say, this person was being shady and that person was being shady, and probably so. And I don't really know the history, to be very honest with you. I've heard that they didn't particularly like each other, whatever. But let me tell you what people would do. Anytime there's two queens sitting on their throne, anytime, they're always going to pivot one against the other. It could just be that one was just having a day. Or it could just be one was just feeling real cute. It always had to be they didn't like each other. You know what I mean? And I didn't look for that. I don't seek that. I heard that. Well, I read some of the comments where people were like, this person was being shady. But it's my opinion. I don't even feed into that. I don't care. I was listening to the music. They both sound great. They both look nice. Anything negative that I wanted to say or think, I didn't allow myself to go there. I put it aside. Instead of seeing something negative, I immediately changed my mindset and made it positive. You understand? Don't get me wrong. I'm human. I'm going to see some things. I'm like, oh, Kiana, change your mindset. Oh, Kiana, change your mindset. Because I have been that person that people watch on TV and always got something negative to say. I have been that person that when I'm on stage, she say this or she say that, but she say she know the Lord. She does. So, for me, I enjoyed it. It was a great night of music. It was a great night for me to stroll down memory lane. It was a great night to see two powerful sisters in their own right do their thing. They look great. They didn't age. They ain't look tired. They ain't look like hags, honey. The edges was there. Listen.
It was a good night. It was for me.
Like night. Skin clear.
Yeah.
Look like money. Smell like money. Okay.
Definitely. Now, this series that I'm doing this week is Rehearsing for the Leading Role, and this is actually tied to one of my books. I am relaunching my leadership book that's based on my acting career, which is why I wanted
Right.
to get people who are actors on this week. So my question to you is, what kind of leadership lessons have you learned as an actress?
Wow. One lesson that I learned as an actress in reference to leadership is you may not always have the leading role. You may
Ooh.
not necessarily be the star in that scene, but you're equally important.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that my mother always tell me, and I refer to him as Pops, he always say, baby, it takes a lot of people. My mom always say, it takes a lot of people to make the world go round. We need people that's gonna fry the fries and drain the grease. We need somebody that's gonna flip the burgers and change the tires. We need a president. We need a president. You hear me? We need a president. Okay. So we need a president. We need a governor. We need a mayor. But we need people at all levels. So in reference to acting, we need someone who's going to be in the background, who, cause a little ruckus. We need B footage. We need people who is the leader lady in the scene and the leading man in the scene. But we also need those B players, those day players. They in and out and may not have any lines, but they're
Right.
equally important. It brings the scene to life. It gives the scene the energy that it needs to be believable. At the end of the day, we need all people. So you may not be the leading person with the lines. You might just say, okay, I don't even, forgive me when I say this because I don't remember the movie. Get your head out of my pocket.
Girl, I don't remember that one either. I'm like, what you talking about?
Somebody on your line is gonna remember that. Was it Malcolm X? I think it was Malcolm X. So in that movie, somebody was putting they caused a distraction in the audience so that someone can go shoot Malcolm X. That was important to get that task done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be something going on. You may not be the main person in the scene, but you're equally important. You got to be. And sometimes, baby girl, it takes a strong person to play second.
That I think one of the lessons in my book is that I think the way that I word it is there are no small parts, only small people.
Nope.
You got another question from Edwin.
Can you talk about the pay disparities between men and women in the industry? How do you keep that good coin coming? Okay, so let me tell you something. I can definitely speak to that. There is definitely a difference between men and women when it comes to the coin. But I don't play no games. I ask, if you tell me what your budget is, I know that you're lying. So I'm going to, and don't ever ask me what I want, because I'm going to tell you what I want. And see, that there in itself is a lie, because most people on the planet are uncomfortable with people knowing exactly what they want. So if I tell you what I want and then you back it up because you bother, oh, she's so picky, because I can tell you what I want. Now I'm picky and I'm bossy, but you asked me what I wanted. Don't ask me what I want if you're not able to, one, provide, or two, handle it. So there's also, what I have done is, sometimes you got to put somebody in front of you to speak for you and say what you want. Before I had representation, trust me, it was my mama. Trust me, it's been me. I pick up the phone and be me in a heartbeat. I'll call, talk like a man, talk like a woman, do what I got to do, but I'm going to get my money. And guess what? I want the same respect, and I want the same amount of money that you're going to pay him, because I'm going to do the same work. I'm not saying, sir, that I want your responsibilities. I know a lot of people like to say women want men's job. I don't want your job. I don't even want your responsibility. I'm just saying, if I do the work, I want the coin equally, period. And so I always say this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I believe in, that, the evolution of a strong woman came because of a weak man, period. Not because we're not calling men weak, but there's been a man in her life somewhere, somehow, whether it's a brother, a father, or uncle, or granddad, somebody who has failed her, that she could not rely on, which required that she stood up and handled her business. So if she's going to do the work of that same man or a man, she deserves that same coin. So I don't accept anything less. I ask for what I want. I mean what I want. And if I don't get it, now there's some wiggle room. Don't get me wrong. If I know this is my high, I know I'm not going no lower than this. This is it. I have it's in between here, boo. But we ain't going down here. It is right here. So we got to do better. And women, we got to stop selling ourselves short. We have to. We have to stop, settling, saying, well, no, it's no well. What are you worth? Once you know your worth, you understand your value, you would never settle. And it's difficult sometimes because you really want the opportunity. That could be being in the industry, or it could just be whatever. It could be in corporate America, or it can just be in the entertainment industry. But Angela, you know what it is.
Oh
We
yeah.
are so busy trying to get on. Sometimes we forego the whole check and lay on the bed. Then you just screwed yourself to the middle and nobody knows. You hear me? Not even to the top, friend. You in the middle. So no, I'm not settling. Write my check to my business name.
All right.
That's it.
They a couple people chimed in and said yes, the movie that you were talking about was Malcolm X.
Come on, friend. Okay.
Okay, that means I need to go back and watch it.
Thank you.
That is not even familiar remotely at all to me. It's been a while since
It's the most important part of the movie, girl.
yeah, I don't remember it. But I was eating when that movie was 3 hours. So I had packed some like
You only
McDonald's.
seen it once. I'm not gonna judge you.
I've seen it once all the way in its entirety. I went to see it in the movies. Like I was like, and everybody's like, oh, it's 3 hours. So I stopped by McDonald's before I went to the movies, had my pockets laced up, saw it. Westwood Theater, which is not even in my hometown anymore. That's where I saw it. But I've seen it on television, but bits and pieces. And you know how they cut it when it's on television. You don't see every little last thing.
Yeah. So. I'm not gonna judge you because I didn't see Friday the 2nd. Girl, come on now. Hey, Dana.
Hey, Dana. You said, wait a minute, hold up about the Friday.
Girl, go to the next question.
Wait a minute. I thought we all done seen all 3 of them Fridays like 20 times. Like 20 times. Like there's a card game. Like one of those it's almost like Black Card Revoked. There's one called Friday. We played it last year.
They can take I didn't see it.
No. Well, no, but yeah, it's funny. I realized I didn't know Friday that well because my mama dusted me in that game. Like she dusted the whole game. Yes, my mom and dad love Friday. They love Friday.
Funny.
That was
funny.
Anyway, as as we get ready to wrap up, Kiana, any final words that you want to share for the peoples?
Well, you know what? I just want people to know this. It's a couple things I want to say real quickly. First of all, if you come out of this pandemic the same, you wasted a whole lot of time. This is the time when you can set up your business. You need to get your EIN. You need to get your corporation set up because I don't know if they're gonna give you some money, but hey, this is the first time ever. If you had a business or an EIN or a corporation last year, baby, you better apply for something. This is the first time ever that the SBA is open up their pocketbook and gonna give us money without asking a whole lot of questions. Get you some money. 30-year loan for 3.75. Get that money. Guess what? Why? Because they're getting the money. Whoever your they is, they are getting the money. Get your money, start a business, sow a seed, and eat. You understand what I'm saying? Because the thing about this is you cannot continue to rely on anybody else to take care of you. Every time we say they buying up our neighborhood, they doing this. Well, what you doing? What you doing? What part of this are you helping, or what part of this are you hindering? You got to put forth. You got to sow a seed. And if you don't have enough, well, guess what the word is? Collaborate. Get with somebody who got something that you don't have. Put your brains together. Put your coins together, and y'all figure out how to make it work. See, people always like to say, they come in our community and start a business, and the government give them. The government is not just handing out these quote unquote foreigners checks to start businesses in our communities. No, they see a void in our community and they take advantage of it that we are not. We don't own our houses. We're not paying our taxes. We are so busy buying sneakers. We so busy buying weed. We so busy lashes and all this. Okay. And then you want to know why we get left out and why we don't have a seat at the table. Matter of fact, why we serving them at the table, because we ain't doing right. We ain't doing right. So that's that. So get your life together, get your financial stuff together. Also, you got to vote. Listen, at this point, if you was a Bernie person, that's cute. Bernie gone. He ain't here. He gone. He gone. I mean, he ain't gone, but he gone. He ain't in the race. Biden is the choice. I'm sorry. Y'all may not love him. It is what it is. I vote blue no matter who. At this point, we got to get Captain Orange out. It's either blue or orange, and it ain't going to be orange. Okay? Vote. Feel like do it. Get it done.
Kiana's Instagram is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, so make sure that you connect with her. She is just a wonderful, wonderful spirit. I'm glad that we were able to connect because our shows actually air at the same time, and I was like, oh, She taking a break. Let me call
Yes,
her.
I took a
Hey,
break. I'm on
hey.
break, Angela, until September 14th. Look at me talking, giving you more time. I told you I had a hard out at 8:30, and I love your show. So that's why I was like, let me support her and just bless the people. Here, hey now. So On Live with Kiana Dancie will return to September 14th. We will be just follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I will announce where I'm going very soon.
Right, all right, all right, all right.
I
Well,
love you.
enjoy it. Love you too, sweetheart. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Absolutely. You
All
guys
right.
take care and make sure you follow me. Bye.
Good night. Well, that is it for this Hump Day edition of the Angela Ray Show. As always, I would like to remind you of Ray of Motivation number 54. Cleaning a mirror does not change the person who is reflected in it. Until next time, I encourage you all to go out and be the change. Have a great evening, and I will see you all